Well, hello there, you're watching the official Theme Park Fans YouTube channel and welcome back to another video. So, as you can see by the video title, I'm going to be talking about Scarefest and how it can be improved. So, I absolutely love the Alton Towers Scarefest event. In fact, it's my favourite time of the year. And I love it when Alton Towers announce the Scarefest lineup, which is usually around the middle of August or the end of August. That's when I get really excited for it, knowing that Scarefest is around the corner. Another thing what I really love about Scarefest is the spine-tingling scare mazes. You know, I mean, we have had some incredible scare mazes over the last few years. I mean, Subspecies, the Sanctuary, you know, Alton Mine Tours. There have been some incredible scare mazes over the last few years, and not just the scare mazes, but also riding in the dark. That is absolutely amazing. I love riding the likes of Nemesis, Wicker Man, the Smiler, Oblivion in the dark. It's just really great. And you know what? Scarefest is absolutely amazing, but I do think it can be improved in some ways. So I've got 5 ways here on how Scarefest could be improved, and I think in these improvements were put into place for this year's Scarefest. You know, that is, if this year's Scarefest does go ahead, because we don't know at this moment in time. I do think it would make Scarefest a lot more better. So let's begin, shall we? And the first improvement that I've got here for Scarefest would be to bring back the extreme scare mazes. So, I remember before I turned 18 years old, and I was thinking, Scarefest 2017, when I'm 18 years old, I am going to be doing the extreme scare mazes. Yes. But what did Alton Towers do? For Scarefest 2017, they scrapped the extreme mazes, and at this point I was just like, Towers, really? Do you really have to do that? Do you really have to scrap the extreme mazes? So yeah, so like before Scarefest 2017, Alton Towers did have extreme scare mazes, and I believe they ran the extreme scare mazes about 30 minutes after the park had closed for the day, which is 9 PM for Scarefest, or should I say 30 minutes after the ride queues close, you know, because it's not the park that shuts, it's the queues that shut. So I think it was around 30 minutes after the ride queues are shut that they did the extreme scare mazes. And at this time, you know, I think it was for like the Sanctuary, Terror of the Towers, in 2015, you know, the Haunted of Molly Crow. So I really think if Alton Towers brought back extreme scare mazes, I feel like it would add something to Scarefest. And you know what? I just want to experience an extreme scare maze. So if Alton Towers brought back the 2019 Scarefest lineup, which was Project 42, Alton Mine Tours, Subspecies, and Darkest Depths, imagine all 4 scare mazes with an extreme version. Especially Subspecies and Altonville and Darkest Depths and Project 42. Nah. No, I'm joking. I do think Extreme Project 42 would be really, really good. So that's improvement number 1 that I think could be made for Scarefest. Moving on to the second thing that I think could be improved for Scarefest, and that is to extend the ride close to 10 PM. So, at the moment, Scarefest is, the opening times for Scarefest are from 10 AM, because there is no early ride time for Scarefest, and it runs until 9 PM, and that's when the queue line shut. I do feel like adding an extra hour for nighttime riding would be really good. Like, imagine if you entered the Wicker Man queue, you know, just before 10 PM, like 1 minute before 10 PM, and you get into the Wicker Man queue for 10 PM, and the queue's shut, and let's say you're waiting, I don't know, an hour for Wicker Man. Imagine having a nighttime ride on Wicker Man at 11 PM. Woohoo! That would be special. But no, I feel like this isn't a major thing, really. I am happy with 9 PM at the moment, you know, for Scarefest. But I do feel like 10 PM would be good, but as I say, 9 PM, it's good by me. And like, even if Alton Towers didn't extend the ride close to 10 PM, not even 9:30 PM would be really good, you know, just an extra 30 minutes to get your nighttime rides done. So that's improvement number 2, extend ride close to 10 PM. But saying that, I am happy with a 9 PM ride close. So the third thing that I think Scarefest could be improved on is by having live actors around the park. Now, I feel like this would be an amazing thing to have live actors around the park. So for different areas, you could have different live actors. So let's say you are in Forbidden Valley, and in Forbidden Valley you could have the phalanx operatives telling guests that the area is quarantined because of the Nemesis monster. And it's funny that I'm saying quarantine, because right now we are quarantined because of this coronavirus. You know what? Alton Towers, right? You should deploy the phalanx operatives, and they could go around the streets and telling people to stay indoors. Imagine that, the phalanx operatives like walking around the streets and telling people to go inside. But no, that would be really amazing to have the phalanx operatives in Forbidden Valley telling guests that the area is quarantined because of the Nemesis monster. It would add a dimension. Or dimension, I don't know how you say it, but you get what I mean. It would add that little, like, that, I wouldn't say scary, but it would add like a unique feeling to Forbidden Valley. In the Dark Forest area, you could have the 13 Wraiths, and you know, they weren't there once, when Alton Towers had the Nox Inferno scare zone, and they don't say anything, they're like the demons of the Dark Forest, and it would be so cool to have the 13 Wraiths return to Dark Forest, and especially for Scarefest, you know, that would be really good. For X Sector, you could have the Smile Assistants, or even the Blast of the Past, the Sanctuary. So like, you can have some of these Sanctuary patients running around X Sector or something like that. That'd be really, really good. Outside Hex, you can have the woman who placed that wicked old curse on the God, I'm forgetting it. On a cold autumn night in 1821, when the thunder of who was singing on the wealthy 15th Earl of Shrewsbury. Oh my God, I can't believe I had to recite the Hex story to remember. But you could have the woman who placed that wicked old curse around Hex, and you could have the 15th Earl of Shrewsbury. It's kind of hard to say. Shrewsbury, around the Hex area, which is Fountain Square, I think. So that would be really good as well. Having the 15th Earl of Shrewsbury and the woman who plays the wicked old curse on the Earl. In Gloomy Wood, you could have a few zombies, ghouls, you know, that kind of stuff. Around Wicker Man, you could have the people who what is it called? Not the Bjornen. Is it a Bjornen? Like the people who, you know, the people who worship Wicker Man. You know, I don't know what they're called. God, I should know this because I'm an Alton Towers abuser. I don't even know, but that would be really good. I'm thinking about other areas. I don't think you could have any live actors in Gatanga Canyon. Where else is there on park? I think that's about it, really. But if you add in live actors to different areas, so like Forbidden Valley, X Sector, Dark Forest, and themed them to like the specific area, then I think that would be really good. You know, especially with Scarefest. So that would be the third improvement I would bring to Alton Towers Scarefest. So the next one, the fourth improvement for Scarefest that I would bring in, would be to bring back the scare zone. So I believe the last time Alton Towers had a scare zone was, I think it was 2017, when it was the God, I'm trying to remember its name now. Wasn't it the Freaky Fun Show that ran down that path between X Sector and Spinball Wizard? But before that, like, if you go back to 2015, you had Nox and Furnace in the Dark Forest, Dark Apocalypse in Forbidden Valley, and in 2014 you had the Zombie Scare Zone, and you had Scary Tales. I just think, for people who don't want to necessarily pay for the scare mazes, or people who, you know, might just be a bit too frightened on the scare mazes, then there should be scare zones where people can experience them for free. And obviously the scare zones, they could have a 3 pumpkin rating or a 4 pumpkin rating, you know, and it just be really good. Because in my opinion, I felt that the Alton Towers scare zones added that a different sort of element to the park, and they were really good to experience, and to kill your time off while you were visiting the park for Scarefest. So definitely bring back scare zones for everyone, and that would be my 4th improvement. So the 5th and final improvement that I've got for Scarefest would be to bring back Duel Live. Now, I absolutely loved Duel Live as a kid. I think Duel Live was at Alton Towers around 2008 and 2009, I think it was, and I absolutely loved it, you know, and it was such a different experience from riding Duel normally, because you know, when you ride Duel normally, you just take the gun out of its holster and you just shooting the targets, you know, pew 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 pew. Oh yeah. But for Duel Live, it's a different experience because you don't take the guns out, and it sort of felt like a flashback to when it was the haunted house, you know, because if you don't know, before it was Duel, it was the haunted house. It was still the same ride system, but without the guns, and you just went round the ride as normal. And the Duel Live, you had actors popping out of nowhere. It was so good. I don't know why Alton Towers removed Duel Live, but maybe it could have been to do with health and safety. I don't know. But if Alton Towers could, then bringing back Duel Live would be really, really good. And it would be a nice throwback to my childhood experience in Duel Live. Now, I do believe there was a Hex Live as well, but I can't remember it too much, and I don't know too much about it. So I was going to put in my notes, bring back Hex Live, but I don't remember it that well. So I just didn't want to talk about that. So the 5th and final improvement I would bring to Scarefest would be to bring back Duel Live. So guys, what improvements would you make to Scarefest? If you have any improvements in mind, then do comment below, because I'd love to see what you guys would bring to Scarefest if you could have the opportunity to improve it. If you did enjoy this video, then please give it a like, because it really helps the channel out. If you would like to become part of the theme park fans family, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page. As always, our Facebook page link is in the description below, so please go check that out and give it a like. The next video will be out on Wednesday as always, so I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the next video. And yeah, that's about it really. I just hope that Scarefest does make an appearance this year. I mean, with the current situation surrounding the coronavirus, you just don't know. I mean, Scarefest, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 months away, Scarefest is. So maybe it might come. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think any of us know at this time, really. If Scarefest will be here for October and the start of November as well. We just don't know. Anything can happen in these next 6 months, but fingers crossed that it does. But as I say, we just don't know, do we? I'm Wood on you. Thank you for watching, Theme Park fans, and it's time to close the video down. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.